Welcome to Wyke Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. The 28th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was released on Disney Plus this week. Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness stars Benedict Cumberbatch as multiple versions of the titular hero, as well as Elizabeth Olsen, a fellow Marvel star, and the film is directed by cult movie director Sam Raimi, most notable for directing the Evil Dead trilogy and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy. Watching this film on Disney Plus was the first time I had seen this movie, and I was eagerly anticipating it, as was the rest of the fandom, amidst rumours of special cameo appearances from high-profile Marvel characters and actors. Whilst the film does have its issues in terms of its writing, pace, and the musical score, the actors and director and the visual effects department were all at the top of their game and definitely makes it a standout film in the MCU by introducing horror and giving us a sort of more another path in the franchise's future. So I give the film 4 out of 5 stars. Last Christmas season, the 4th film in the Matrix franchise was released after The Matrix Revolutions was released nearly 20 years ago, and is currently streaming on home video services such as Sky Cinema. The Matrix Resurrections features the returns of Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss as their iconic sci-fi characters, Neo and Trinity, in another mind-bending addition to the franchise. Whilst this film relies heavily on the nostalgia fans felt from the original trilogy, it also manages to be its own thing by resolving and adding to loose threads from the end of the 3rd film. Whilst the film doesn't necessarily justify its own existence, it still turns out to be a fun film with a surprisingly perfectly cast villain. So I give this film, Matrix Resurrections, 4 out of 5 stars. The big cinema release this weekend is the rock biopic Elvis, starring Austin Butler and Tom Hanks, and from the director of films such as 2013's The Great Gatsby and 2001's Moulin Rouge. Elvis chronicles the life and career of the King of Rock, as well as his complex relationship with his manager. Current reviews label the film as dazzling, with Austin Butler's performance being praised not just by critics but by Presley's family as well. An anticipated cinema release this weekend is the horror movie The Black Phone, starring Ethan Hawke from films such as Training Day, and from the director of Sinister and Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange. This film might not be for anyone, and be warned, it contains distressing themes such as child abduction. The plot revolves around a serial killer whose latest victim finds a disconnected phone in his lair that can communicate with the voices of his previous victims. Early reviews from the film festival circuit have been universally positive, including a review from famed horror writer Stephen King, who was also singing the film's praises. This weekend's big streaming release is Netflix's The Man from Toronto, starring Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson, and from the director of The Expendables 3 and The Hitman's Bodyguard. The Man from Toronto revolves around a screw-up and an assassin being forced to team up after being confused for one another. Be sure to check it out this weekend if you like comedic action thrillers. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will preview the new Minions movie titled The Rise of Gru, as well as other movies. Now back to Gary in the studio.